Thank you, Wendy. So if you were with us earlier this week, each day this week, we've tackled a different aspect of cybersecurity. On Tuesday, we talked about why is cybersecurity so important. Yesterday, we talked about am I at risk, to see if we're at risk. And today, we're talking about what we can do. So if you missed any of those previous ones, please go back into the library for the IT Grade Professional, and you can go ahead and watch those. So today we're going to talk about what can you do to basically be more secure and to address some cybersecurity concerns. So what you can do, I've kind of grouped into two areas. One is preventing attacks and the other is reacting to them. So obviously the more time we spend in preventing, the better off we are. So I kind of think of this in like fire prevention versus being the firefighter. So it would be great if we spend some time in fire prevention so we don't just have to go out and put fires out. So preventing attacks entails risk assessment. So that's actually looking at your systems and doing planning and also awareness. And these presentations are very much about awareness. And I encourage you to share that awareness with your organization, to encourage your organization to have awareness. If you manage or lead a team, you want to make sure that people are aware of IT security concerns on a regular basis and include it in your weekly meetings. Make sure you're looking at risk management not just from a product perspective or a project perspective, but also from an IT security perspective. And then next we have reacting to attacks. So in order to react, we need to recognize and detect when an attack is occurring. And I will note if you have any questions, this is a short presentation today by design. It's 15 minutes, hopefully a chock full of information, 15 minutes. But if you have any questions, please put them in the question section, and we will address them at the end. And so I welcome that. So if you think of questions as I'm speaking, please note them there. Okay, so next we'll talk about general prevention. We have IT security guidelines and standards. You want to make sure that your organization has these, and if they don't, you want to develop and implement them. These will help in preventing and managing IT security for your organization. Without these, you're probably just putting out fires and not necessarily in an orderly fashion either. Password safety. You want to provide guidance in creation and management of passwords. You want to make sure that passwords have a high strength to them, which usually includes no words that are recognizable, capitalization, including lowercase, numbers, and special characters. And there are some tricks that people use with that. I've seen people use the number 1 instead of I and number 3 instead of E. And so they actually make up words replacing letters with numbers. And that's sometimes an easy way to remember passwords. Another way is to use a sentence, like the dog ran up the hill, and take the first letter of each word in that sentence and use that as your password. So that could be also a good way to easily remember. Me personally, I have so many passwords in so many systems that I'm on because of the consulting work that I do, that I have a password tip file for myself, which, yes, also has a password on it. And it's basically a spreadsheet, and it says, you know, what the account is. For example, my Hilton Honors account, and it gives me a hint as to what my password is. I have kind of a base password, and then I change it for different things. You don't want to use the same password for everything, because if that password is compromised, then access to all of those things is compromised. I have tighter, secure passwords or more difficult to figure out passwords for things like bank accounts and for other places where information is really important, high security on it, versus things that are kind of more casual use, and I'm not providing a lot of information about myself. When it comes to remote and mobile working, you want to keep in mind the safety of using devices outside of an organization's environment. I've done a lot of work in DoD, and I know that there are certain requirements for using a government laptop off-site. For example, that computer can't be facing the window such that somebody could look through the window and see your screen. You need to have a location where you can lock it. If you're carrying it in your car, it needs to be locked in the car, and they highly recommend keeping it in your trunk. So, if you're going shopping someplace after work, make sure your laptop's in the trunk of your car, not in your front seat, not someplace obvious where somebody might break in. Also, something that people often don't think about, particularly with their mobile phone or tablet, is use of that in public places. For example, a coffee shop that has online access. That online access may be free, but keep in mind that that free online access, somebody could be looking at what you're doing. This is both physically and electronically. So if you're sitting there at your computer and there's somebody sitting behind you, they could literally shoulder surf and watch you do things. They can watch you type in your password. So you want to be very mindful of that. And then also, even on your phone, if you're using the internet in one of those locations, don't use the free internet to access a bank account, things like that, because again, you're on an unsecured wireless connection, and somebody could easily look at what you're doing. So when you have a virtual private network, for example, if you have a computer that you use from work, they may give you VPN access. That's what that stands for, virtual private network. It's kind of like having a Brinks truck driving down the highway. You see the Brinks truck, but you don't know what's in it. And that's what a virtual private network does. Not having that, being on a free, wide open internet, would be like driving a see-through truck down the highway, and everybody would see exactly what's in it. So just be careful when you're using that internet like that. I do use it, but I use it for things like, playing something on YouTube or music or something like that. I don't use it for anything where I'm sharing private information. So part of preventing attacks, a key part of that is risk identification. So we want to focus on the identification of cybersecurity risks. SEI is an organization that provides some assistance and help with this, and there are other ones that you can find, and you see the reference down below for this. And what they say is risk identification can be grouped into these different areas.
Hi there, hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.